Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today I've got another selection of creator club ideas, this time based in the United States of America. Anyone who's watched any of my channel will know I'm a big MLS fan, so today I've got a good selection of realistic and believable teams that you can create on FIFA career mode. We're starting our list with a club that did play in the MLS between 2004 and 2014, but it's interesting enough for you to recreate on FIFA 22's creator club mode. The Goats were a sister club to the most supported Mexican club, Chivas Guadalajara, but Chivas USA were a little bit different. The Mexican club are known for their brilliant youth development, but also have a policy that's similar to Athletic Club, where they can only sign players from the same nation, in their case Mexico. This reboot of Chivas USA could easily have very similar policies, where maybe you only sign players who are eligible for the United States or have played in the United States in the past. It really could be a good save where you're trying to generate income to sign the best American talents from Europe. With players like Pulisic and McKennie in your team, why not show if you can go even further, go undefeated over the length of an MLS season, or maybe see if you can win the home World Cup in 2026 with the United States national team. Chivas USA's kit was very similar to the one of Guadalajara. They're known as Los Rojiblancos or the Red and Whites, so they play in a red and white shirt with dark blue shorts and red socks. The stadium was the StubHub Center in California, so that's where you'll be basing your team as well, California, although of course you can't use a real stadium on FIFA. Your biggest rivals will be the two other Los Angeles-based clubs, and I think that would be pretty good because they're two of the best teams in the league with some of the most notable players, so you'll always have a bit of a challenge in either of your rivalry matches depending on which one you pick. The second team on my list isn't even based in the United States. They're based on the island of Antigua and Barbuda, and alongside Sevilla FC Puerto Rico and River Plate Puerto Rico, they were founding members of America's third tier, which was named the Caribbean Division. Unfortunately, Antigua Barracuda were one of the worst teams that the world has ever seen. In the 2013 season, the club lost every single one of their 26 matches, which is only the third time in the world this had ever happened, and also the longest losing streak of any North American professional sports team ever. MLS teams based outside of the mainland US are allowed. There are several from Canada already in the league, and other countries such as Mexico and Puerto Rico have been proposed in the past. In fact, there are actually a few Antiguan players already on FIFA, and even more with Antigua as their second nationality. The two Antiguan players on FIFA are Romeo and James Weldon, who are both playing in the English lower leagues, but with overalls of 68 and 62, you will have to develop them if you want them to get up to MLS standards. Maybe see if you can sign both of them, and if you're on PC, make sure you set a youth scout to scout various Caribbean nations that you can't on console. If you're on console, why not just sign some Jamaicans, Trinidadians, or Cubans, and become the pride of the West Indies and a shining light in the MLS. The Barracudans used to play at a cricket ground that was also used for the West Indies cricket team, and they played in an all lime green home kit and an all light blue away kit, which are pretty unique, especially in the MLS. We're heading away from the Caribbean and heading up north for the third team on our list, which I would recommend you create a team called Quebec FC. Canada already has 3 MLS teams, with Toronto, Montreal and Vancouver all currently playing in the American League system. Quebec has a distinct culture to the rest of Canada, and this would be reflected in their passion for football and different views on how the team would be set up. Compared to the rest of the country, Quebec leans more on its French roots than its English ones, with the most spoken language in Quebec being French. So it would be a good save if you're interested in bringing some of the many older good French players to the MLS. People like Ben Arfa, Valbuena and Frank Ribery, maybe signing all 3 to be your attacking 3 up front. You'll have big rivalries with all 3 of the Canadian teams, but your goal should be uniting with them and making the Canadian team as good as nations with similar populations, such as Morocco or Poland. Quebec itself actually does have a football team, beating other unofficial nations like Tibet 21-0, so it's important that you do keep bringing through good players from both Canada and France to keep the Quebec national team as good as it has been in real life. One of the US's oldest states, Virginia is both where George Washington was born and died, and yet the Norfolk area of Virginia is one of its biggest cities, yet has no professional sports teams in any league. Over 1.5 million people live in Virginia Beach, yet their biggest football team is the Virginia Beach City FC, who play in the semi-professional United States Development Leagues. You'll be recreating them and trying to bring through more famous Americans from Virginia, as they tend to do every couple of years in real life. You'll be spending as much money as you can by bringing through youth player after youth player, and as Virginia was the host to England's first North American colony, you'll be scouting England, the United States, and another nation of your choice to see if you can bring Virginia back to the forefront of American culture. You'll be playing at the Powhatan Field, which is named after the Powhatan tribe that used to inhabit the area of Virginia that is now known as Norfolk. There's quite a lot of history behind this club and definitely a lot of history in Virginia, so it's important that you read up on this if you do decide to give this a go, because you'll get a lot more ideas of little things you can do here and there to make the save a bit more fun and a bit more enjoyable. The final team on this list is Detroit City FC. It's Michigan's biggest and most famous cities, and it's had a massive amount of football teams over the past few decades. You've got plenty of history and plenty of jersey combinations to choose from, teams including Detroit Express, the Lansing Ignite FC, and the West Michigan Edge. My personal choice would be recreating Detroit City. Detroit used to be the fourth largest city in the United States, and then all the car businesses moved out and the city is now largely a ghost town. The NFL team is one of the worst in the NFL. The NBA team is one of the lowest ranked in the NBA. So a new MLS team based in Detroit would be really important for the city to get the recognition that they used to have. A new MLS team based in Detroit would also be rivals with Columbus, who are one of the best teams in the league. It would be a fun challenge to try and overtake a mainstay club with your newly created team. And also, not only are they rivals, but only a few weeks ago from recording of this video, the MLS team Columbus Crew did actually lose to the real-life United States League Championship team Detroit City. Not only did they win, but the fact that there's so many leagues below does really prove how much potential there is in Detroit. Hopefully you can find it, and hopefully you have a really fun career mode if you do decide to do this save. There are another couple of failed or speculated expansion teams that have been mentioned over the years. Cleveland, Miami, San Antonio, Raleigh, Tampa Bay, Indianapolis, Sacramento. There's a massive list of all of these, so make sure you check them out before starting any saves, because the chances are you might prefer one of these over something in this video. There are other efforts, teams like a third New York City team if you're into that kind of thing. Las Vegas, Phoenix, and San Diego seem to be the ones that are closest in real life, especially Las Vegas now that it's not only invested in an NFL team, but also an F1 race. So there is a lot of money getting sports into the city, so make sure you check out my other video at the top of the video right now, where I have talked about Las Vegas potentially being an expansion team. And hopefully, no matter who you choose, you'll give the MLS a go, because I know it's not super popular in Europe, and hopefully you'll have a really fun save. Let me know in the comments which team you pick, and let me know any players that have been really good for you as well. And hopefully you'll like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this for FIFA 22 and eventually FIFA 23. Hope you all enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for another video on the Geografifa channel. Thank you, and goodbye.